is time for my Fatback Skookum bike check, but instead of just sitting here and pointing at it, I'm gonna go for a ride. All right, all warmed up now. Time to head into the woods. So I would say the most common question I get about my fat bike is how much pressure do I run in the tires? Well, the answer is about that much in the back, that much in the front. At least for today and for right now, that's what I'm starting with. And the truth is, I never check anymore. I did buy a gauge once and it broke, so I just went back to going by feel. And I also like different feel depending on what I'm doing. So if it's a normal cross-country trail, you can actually run a little bit less, help the suspension of the tire roll smooth over the roots and stuff. If I'm riding a lot of berms and jumps, then you need quite a bit, or else the tire folds a lot. And also for trials, when you're going to gap the rear tire, like I'll gap to that and see what the tire does when I hit it. Actually in too high of a gear there. Wasn't sure what I was going to start with here. There we go. And the tire compressed on the takeoff and the landing. Gave me a little bit of pop, but it didn't hit so hard that I bottomed out on the rim. So if it's too low, I'll hit the rim, could damage it. Don't want to do that. So I usually will start a ride with a little extra pressure, a little high. It'll roll a bit faster. And then when I'm ready, or if I want to, if it's too bouncy, too rough, or I'm not getting enough traction, then I'll drop the pressure. But maybe I'll have to get one that works sometime and have a better answer for you guys. The next closest question to that is tire size. I've always had 26-inch rims. These are the Fatback Big Sues, also the Alaskan hub on there as well. Running 4.0 front and rear right now. I have played around with 4.8 and 4.0 up front, 4.8 in the back, and actually like that for rocky terrain that's rough, but it's also hard to find a good pressure. At least with the tire I had, it would want to fold in the corners if you have it soft enough to help you in the rocks. And then the other tire was just too slow, too heavy. Had a better sidewall, but the penalty of the rolling resistance wasn't worth it for me, I guess. So I'm back to this, since I'm riding around Midwest all year for the most part so far. It works pretty well here, and I do have a different set of tires for the winter. Go up to 4.8s, try to find the biggest knobby I can, and also run grip studs in those for some extra traction if you hit some ice. Helps the tire dig in a little bit better, and I've really enjoyed having those in addition to the normal tires, because there isn't a great all-around one that I've found. Oh, yes, that's flooded now. Darn it. I would like to try some different tires. I think, well, maybe like a 4.4 would be the sweet spot. Who knows? Maybe that'd be a good one, but tires are expensive, so I usually just try to find deals or score some for free here and there and run what I have. Try to wear them out and wait until I need something different, but it would be fun to give something else a try, since I don't have the tire answer either yet. Now getting into some actual parts of the bike. Starting up top here, got P&W components, loam grips, range handlebar, range stem. This is the longer of the two stems. I believe it's 45, might be 50 now. They did redesign that, and I believe they changed the sizing, so I'll have to check and put that on the screen now. And then got the loam lever as well. The orange matches the fork really well, and can't go without a dropper post. Got a 170 on here now, and definitely dropper posts have been my favorite addition to bikes since I started riding bikes. I can have it up to pedal, drop it down, hit some trial stuff or some jumps, pop it back up to climb this hill. And moving on down from there, like they were made for each other, got the orange Mastodon Pro by Manitou. It's the Northwoods edition with the nice orange bright color. Definitely looks cool, adds a lot to the bike, I think, just by looks, but it also adds a lot of performance. I did do a review on one of these a couple years ago when they first came out. You can check that out up here if you want to, but still really like this fork. Definitely has great feel on the trail, and then I can also stiffen it up pretty quick and easy. Usually just dial in the low speed adjustment here, stiffen that up if I'm going to hit some jumps, go on the pump track, skate park, hit some trials, and then soften it up for the trail to smooth out those bumps a little better. Not sure what pressure's in it right now. Again, haven't checked in a while. If it's working, I usually just leave it and just play with the dials. So let's say it's probably stiffer than what is recommended as per my weight, but I just don't like to bottom things out, and I feel like, oh, there's a cat. I feel like when it's set to my recommended setting, sometimes that's a little soft for my liking when I land a little hard or slam the front end into a big wall to pop up it. So stiff, but not too stiff where it's not soaking up the bumps and smoothing out the ride. Moving on to the brakes, I'm running Hayes Dominion A4s front and rear. I really like these for all kinds of riding, actually. From trials when you want it to lock up and stop on a dime, got plenty of power for that. But then they're also very smooth for controlling manuals and nose wheelies. Power comes on, super smooth, and that also really helps on the trail when you want just a little bit of brakes going into the corner. You don't want to skid out. They're just super easy to control, such good modulation and power. I feel like a lot of brakes have one or the other, where these are a great combo of both. I have a Fatback seat on here, and then moving on to the drivetrain, that could actually use some updating. I actually have a new 11-speed setup, one of the kits that Fatback sells, but I don't have the right hub driver, so kind of waiting to decide what to do there. Right now I have kind of an older, more budget 10-speed setup, and it works okay, but it's just getting really old, as well as the cranks, bottom bracket could all use some replacing. Get a lot of creaking down there, and I think it might just be time for some new components, I guess. And then also using flat pedals on this, just tried to find the bigger platform that I could. At first I thought the platform was too big, then I hurt my foot, and the bigger platform, the better. And the stiffer shoe, the better. Oh, missed that one. Got to try that one again. I kind of thought of it as I was doing it, and it didn't work out. But that time it almost worked out. There we go. And I guess the last thing, it is an 18-inch Fatback Skookum frame. I do have a custom paint job, which is pretty sweet. I really like the standard colors too, but having something unique is definitely cool. I did try a 20-inch also, and it fit me well enough, but for trials and jumping, I just like the more room you have with the 18-inch frame. Muddy spot, and they're both comfortable enough I can ride them all day without too much discomfort, I guess. So I'd say the 18-inch isn't too small and the 20-inch isn't too big. I just like the 18 more. Almost forgot the bike case adjustable bottle cage here. Pretty nice if you do want to carry something small or something very large it's got room for you. Well, that should sum it up, I guess. Cover just about everything I can think of right now. Hopefully it answers some of your questions. If I missed yours, ask again below in the comments and I'll respond to it down there. But I'd say it's a pretty normal setup. It's a little more stiff than average, and just some select components that I really like, and I feel they enhance the enjoyment and the performance of the bike.